Welcome back to Tech Garage. Well, we know we have some type of intermittent power window issue here. I got looking at the MotoLogic scheme and I saw there's 5 10mm bolts that hold this panel in place. And you know what? This could end up being a pretty big job if we don't try to do some troubleshooting out here on the front end first. I'll pull that off if I need to, but I first want to check this switch. Now, I did the famous thump test, and that's an official automotive term. You know, you thump the door to see if that makes the window motor work. We got it up, we got it down, we got it partway back up, and then it stopped. So we may have an issue here in the switch, honestly, if we're lucky. Now there's 2 bolts right here. I'm going to get them removed and get this strap out of the way. Just be gentle here. All this is a friction fit. It pops off, 10mm, and we go ahead and back these out. And that's going to let us lift off this modular piece that holds the switch. And there's 2 connectors back there. One's for the power lock, and one's for the power switch for the window. So this strap comes off, set it right in here. Now, when you're dealing with removing any pieces from a door panel, take your time here. You don't want to do any damage. You got to look at a door panel for a long time, the life of the vehicle. So I'm just going to gently work this up. And again, the MotoLogic schematic really helped here. Helped me understand this is modular. So it's going to lift that up. Now, we should have a plug coming to the power window switch and a plug to the power lock. I'm going to lift that up. There may be the culprit right there. That plug does not appear that it was seated down in there and latched. It should not have fallen off. See, the power lock one stayed in place. So that may be our problem, in which case I'd be happy I didn't pull this whole door panel off. But let me test that and see. So we've got the key in the run position, so we know we should have power coming into this switch. So we're going to find red and black, which we've got. And so we should get close to 12 volts here from the power supply coming to the switch. So red to red, ground to ground, and there we have it, 10.5 volts. So we definitely have power coming through this circuit. So I'm willing to bet that it's a connection issue coming into the switch. Now, if you were to plug this back in and the window lift motor still didn't work, then you'd have to chase your power supply from the switch down to the motor and see where the problem is. All right, it latched, I felt it. Now, let's go ahead and test the window. Down. A meter out of the way here. And up. That would be the 12 volts. Negative 12 John talked about. Go up. No issues. We got lucky on that one. We dodged a bullet. Again, it's a big job if you got to pull this door panel off and swap the motor, the regulator, and all the hardware in there. You got to be really careful what you're working with and understand exactly all the implications of the project. Checking my latch here. I'm going to check it on the power lock while I'm here. It's good. We're going to get this button backed up, and I'm excited. We've got the window working. We're going to get this seated right back down in here where it belongs. And I do believe that John's up at the front of the truck with some pretty cool work going on.
We've been working on the headlights. We got one spider headlight in, and it's time to do the other one. But let me bring you up to speed. We just took the grill off. That was pretty simple. I had to pop the plate off here that actually covered it. Then I took a few bolts out the top, kind of just had some clips down here, gingerly popped it out, grill sitting there ready to go. Got good access to the headlight. Now these are composite headlights, so I'm gonna have to take the whole unit out of there to replace it. It's a little 10mm down on the side, a little flexible ratchet, and it's got a slide clip, so I got that loosened up. Now I'm just gonna take the rest of the bolts out. There's about 4 bolts here. There's 2 at the top. That one, then I got these 2 here. And there's actually a bracket over here that's holding it on. So I want to be able to slide it out with the contour of the frame. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this bracket out of the way. Make it a little bit easier. One more down here. Now that bracket will slide out of the way. And then what I need to do is just gently work it out of there. You got to be careful. You're talking about the paint and the frame here, but with a little persuasion, you should be able just to slide it right out. There it goes. Just look at the paint, make sure you're good there. Everything's fine. And then I got one connector back here. Just disconnect that. And once I got that disconnected, I can go ahead and pull the whole assembly. That's a composite headlight assembly. I can pull it over here to the bench. Now once I got it on the bench, we can take a look. It's gonna be pretty easy at this point. What I did is I just take the wire harness from this one and I transfer it over to this one. They give you 2 plugs, really nice hookup here on Spyder that will actually plug in the high beams and the low beams right into the existing wire harness. And then you see here, the only thing we have to do is besides those 2 plugs, is we have to take the power and the ground for the halos. And what I'm gonna do is we looked earlier at the schematic on MotoLogic, and I'm gonna tap into the parking light circuit, because that'll be pretty cool. We turn on the lights, the halos are gonna burn. So I'll tap those in, we'll get it buttoned up, we'll get a little bit further on the grill, and we'll let you take a look at it as soon as we return with more Tech Garage.